Hey there everybody, welcome back. It's good to see you. It's been quite a while. It's been a couple years. Been chomping at the bit to get back onto these videos here. So with that, let's get into it. We're got a little bit of a change of scenery here, change of geography. We are not in Europe anymore. We changed continents. We're back in the United States. We've been here for about a year now or so. And we're making a trip today from southern Wisconsin up to the upper peninsula of Michigan. We're gonna go visit around by my parents there and do some camping on their property that they have up there in the hardwoods, Northwoods, and we're heading up there. So we're going through the big metropolis of Mazomanie here on Highway 14. And one of the things that you'll definitely notice in Wisconsin are the different names that I believe most of them derive from Indian tribe names. So sometimes it's a little bit different to get used to how you pronounce them and so forth. But there's just a lot of names as well that, like Wanakee and so forth, that when we first moved down here, we started calling it Wanaki and so forth, just because of the way that Germans say things. That kind of carried over, and I started doing that here, but it's actually, supposedly it's Wanakee. So we're coming up on our halfway point, roughly. Coming up to Clover, Wisconsin. Usually we stop here at Quick Trip. That's kind of our midway point. Rearm and refuel. And so yeah, that's kind of like the halfway point.
Bisher zwar kein Mitgliederentscheid über den Koalitionsvertrag geplant, es gibt allerdings schon erste Forderungen danach. Auf jeden Fall wird ein CDU-Parteitag über die
So we're coming up on the point where 51 intersects with Highway 8, and that's kind of like, I think of that as like the end of the beginning of the end of the world. You're leaving civilization, then the freeway ends and 51 just turns into a normal highway. So we're here in the UP in the western part of Iron County, and we're going to do a little bit of winter spring camping, but we got to get going because the weather might not be in our favor. It's supposed to rain and snow, so let's get going.
Where we're going to camp tonight was actually my grandpa's old property. It used to be a field, and they planted it over with pine trees. So we're going to go camp the pines. It's actually a pretty cool little spot. Actually, just prior to coming up to the UP, there was a rather big ice storm, which came and knocked down a bunch of trees. So that's what we got here. Fortunately, I was able to get around it. Back in the 90s, my grandpa put up this no trespassing sign, and it spells out pretty clearly what he thought of trespassers. It's still there as a memorial to him.
So it's supposed to snow and rain tonight, so I'm gonna have to get my shelter up pretty quick here. I'm gonna have to change my configuration a little bit. Usually I do like a lean-to thing. I might have to make something a little bit more enclosed for tonight. Not really worried about a fire at the moment because I got plenty of fuel, plenty of wood to get things started. So I'm gonna get working on that shelter. So if it starts raining, we got somewhere to go. Got our shelter up. Took a little bit longer than I wanted to. Just if you haven't done a particular thing for a while, or if it's the first time or second time, you're gonna make mistakes and you're not gonna be used to doing it, so you're gonna kind of flounder a little bit, and that's what I did here. But we got it up. I think we got a nice little setup here. It'll keep us safe from the rain and the snow. We're going to be protected by 3 sides here. My only concern might be this little lip here. If it really rains a lot, then it's going to drip down into there, but I have a solution for that. I have another tarp that I can use to go ahead and cover the rest of that. So let's get some wood, let's get a fire going. Good evening to everybody out there in the net. Yeah, we drove up from Madison for my weekend.
I'm checking into the local ham radio net using a 2-meter handheld. There were also a couple individuals who checked in from Australia via digital mode. So it's kind of fun and interesting to listen to these guys as I'm gathering photo here.
For the net next time around, and we can learn about some residents down in swing back and you can't download that drive complicated than you need to be. So, all right. Well, good luck on getting all that in there. Sounds like you're on the way on that project. All right. So let's see. We can walk with the dog today, and I see they're all pulled down. So he must have gone for us. No, passing that ball, everything's gotten really scratchy again. So that's what the rumor on the street is, anyway. Over to you, Penny.
The Hamilton Sheriff, and it was the first major piece of legislation passed by the first United States Congress on July 4th, 1789.
Lee, and he was Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha.
So I got the fire going nice and hot with some fresh dry pine and also some maple, some dead maple that I got that was up off the ground, so it's nice and dry. And now that the fire is nice and hot, and able to dry off other wood that I have here, I got some old or some older maple from a couple weeks ago that's a little bit damp and wet, but this fire will have no problem thawing that out, drying that up, and then we'll turn that into fuel as well. So we're just going to get this fire built up nice here and get some bigger stuff on there so that I can look at getting a some kind of mechanism to be able to cook my food on. So we'll go ahead and do that. So, I am having a blast. As I say this with the smoke in my eyes. Let me move here. I am having a blast. And, whew, smoke. Got the fire built up a good amount. There's a lot of wet wood now that it's been snowing a fair amount here, so I had to go find some more maple just to really get everything hot and keep the fire going for a good duration here to kind of dry out the rest of the wood that I got going here that I want to use for the rest of the night. I got a whole bunch of birch and poplar that I cut up a couple weeks ago, so I'm able to use that. So I'm just waiting for that to kind of dry out a little bit more here. Other than that, we got a nice little tripod system going to cook our water for our food. So that worked out really well. That was kind of just thrown together, but it worked out really well. So I'm impressed with that. So we got a nice little thing for that going. Having a great time out here. This is a lot of fun. It is so quiet out here. It's like a winter wonder. It's a winter wonderland out here. If I didn't know better, I think it was like, you know, around Christmas time. Just a lot of fun. I heard the coyotes earlier, and I'm hoping I can hear a little bit more of them, and then I can let you hear them. But I'm gonna check on our water here, see how that's doing. Get our pot a little bit closer to the flames there. Yeah, that's hot. Okay. I was hopeful that it wasn't going to be too hot, but that's a good sign though. It's a good sign that it's hot. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Nice boiling water right there. Life's in perfect. Alright. Ah! Birch bark and popple smoke like crazy, especially when they're not the driest. Alright, so we got that. So we got some Mountain House chicken tiki masala. Sounds wonderful. Put this into something that's a little bit easier to pour. Control. See that water's boiling. Put that back over there for now. Smoke rather. Looks a little good. So just stir that up a little bit there. That smells good. Especially when one is hungry. Minutes. Alright, our 5 minutes are up. Ooh, that smells good. Dear Lord God, come before you and thank you for this day, and thank you for the safe travels, and just thank you so much for this food and this time that I can spend out, Lord, just enjoying your creation. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I am excited and very hungry. Never really eat anything since this morning before we left Madison. I know it's food from a bag, but when you're hungry, it's the world. It is good. So, would I do anything differently? Did I make mistakes? Yeah, sure I did. But you know, not the most idyllic conditions. It's really wet now, but I got a fire going. We'll see how well I can keep it going overnight. Ideally, I could get it a little bit hotter here and be able to get this. My thought process is I get ahead of the cold and the damp and can warm up some of this wood, and then I can get a nice fire going and keep it going all night. and it doesn't matter what I try to put on there because it's hot enough. To do that, I'm gonna have to get up several times in the night, rekindle it, or make sure it's going. My only concern is this little bivvy that I got going on here. It's keeping me dry, but there's lots of moisture and water that's just melting here because the fire is warm enough here, and it's just dripping off, and it's kind of pooling out on the outside of the little bivvy here. So I hope that's not going to cause me problems in the night, but we'll see. I might do something different tomorrow, but it's all a learning experience, so I'm happy so far, and I'm having a great time, so it's the most important thing. So it's very cramped in here, but what do? Have to do a little bit of rearranging here, but yeah, it's gonna do for the night. I think I'll do something a little bit different tomorrow. Definitely happy that this sleeping bag got myself this year. Got it for my birthday. The modular sleep system. And it's got the waterproof bivvy on it, which I think is going to come in nice and handy tonight, especially when the water is a little bit close, a little bit too close for comfort here on the side. We'll see how it goes. It's all an adventure. But so far this year, I've gone out, I think, camping almost 4 or 5 times with the sleeping bag. And I've never been cold thus far, so I'm really happy with it. It'll keep me nice and dry. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, that's what I've done that side over there. Fix that. Well, we got the shelter the best way that we could, I think, for the night. So we're just gonna leave it like that. Got another couple pieces of big birch on the fire. My hope is that the fire finally is able to break through the dampness there and be able to keep everything going. Last time I checked, it's 30 degrees. My headlamp died, so I got my spare flashlight, and I'm trying to charge the headlamp on this USB charger. So hopefully that's a little bit charged by later tonight. And my watch died as well, so doing great here. But it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. So I think with that, we're going to turn in for the night, get some good sleep, and we'll see you again tomorrow. So it's really coming down out there, or here rather. The fire was getting pretty low, and it was just smoking everywhere and everything because the wood's so damp. So I went out and I found some maple. I cut down some dead maple that was on the ground, that was nice and dry, and I kind of interlaid it between all the other wood, and it took off. And it took off nice. But then I had my little tripod above there, and I had my gloves drying. And I wasn't really worried about the tripod, just my gloves. I didn't want my gloves to fall in. And well, anyway, the flame got like a jet flame going up so high that it caught the twine on fire that I used to bind the tripod together. So I was able to scramble out of the bivvy here and save my gloves and everything before the tripod fell down. So I saved the sticks and everything for the tripod. I'll just put up another one tomorrow. I got more twine. It's no big deal. But at least I didn't lose my gloves. But kind of in that zone of it's freezing and wet and not going to catch on fire to you really got to watch out that you don't catch everything on fire. So we'll see how the night's going to go so far. I don't foresee getting too much sleep. Just having to stay awake and keep the fire going. But that's okay. Tomorrow I plan on bringing my blankets in, getting them dried off, and just kind of starting all over again, and just updating how I'm gonna keep warm and dry tomorrow. Well, I am warm and I am dry, put it that way, but to keep everything else dry and just have more room in here. So we'll see how that goes. But it's coming down out here, and it's kind of fun. It's yeah, it's an adventure. Good morning. Made it through the night. It snowed a little bit, as you can see it right there. Remember, in the night I was woken up a couple times by some fresh snow in the face, but lets you know you're alive. Feels good. Looks like you got like 1 or 2 inches of snow. I know here there's definitely snow above us, so I got to get that off in a couple minutes here. But the shelter held up. But I did have the problem last night where it was leaking in from the seam now and then. But I kept dry because of the sleeping bag with this waterproof bivvy, so that worked okay. But I'm gonna get the fire going and see if I can cook up some oatmeal. So we made it through the night, and it was a great night. It was a fun night. Woke up a couple times to, like I said before, some cold misty sensations in my face, and opened my eyes, and there was snow blowing in and everything, and I was okay. That was fun. It was a good wake up. But you can see how much snow we got. I got a couple inches of snow last night. The ridge line held, so I'm really impressed and happy about that. And the fire actually kept going all night long, even though it went back down and smoldered and so forth. It kind of did that throughout the night, but it withstood all the snow and everything. So probably find some maple and some pine just to get things going again, and then I could probably use the rest of this stuff that's already in here. So I'm gonna do that right now and get some breakfast going. It is really cool to see what you kind of went through in the night. You know, that you were nice and dry and warm. But the rest of the forest is full of snow. So it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling that, yes, we made it through and things went well. Next time I'm going to bring 2 pairs of gloves. These little ones here, they're not waterproof and they got all wet and so forth, but they're not keeping my hands warm or dry right now. They're just going to protect my hands when I'm breaking branches off or gathering wood. I got some dried off, or some dried dead pine branches here. So my hope is I can just get this fire kind of rekindled here, and then it'll take care of the rest. So, because everything otherwise is completely covered in snow. So my best bet is anything off of the trees themselves. You know, it's dead, of course. And so let's see if we can get this thing started again here. We got some flame down there. Not just coals, flames. So there we go. Get this pine on fire here. We should be good to go. There we go. Love that when that happens. The warmth and the heat that we need here to get everything back going again. Perfect. To be able to lash anything, I gotta get in here and get back to my yarn and my twine, so. Having a nice, strong, good fire is always a good feeling, no matter if you have food in your stomach or not, or whatever. It's always a great feeling to have a nice fire. And it's just a feeling of accomplishment. Here's our poles from last night. Like I said, that maple just got so hot last night, it was like a jet flame and just went up and singed the yarn, the twine here. We'll just cut this off and we'll get another big thing going here. Wow, look at that. Gives you an idea of the wind there and the snow coming off. I don't know if it's snowing anymore, or if it's just the snow blowing off of the trees. Kind of get the feeling it's a combination of both, but it is a lot more windy this morning than it was last night, that's for sure. The problem with the twine is that it likes to stick on itself and likes to get hung up, so that's a little bit of a pain. But if you use like paracord or so forth, it would probably be a little bit easier. But this is obviously the best option because it's dispensable, so if it burns off, whatever, no big deal. That's one of the things that just amazes me every time. Like every time I think I go out, I'm like, okay, I got this. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, 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 and then it's just the amazing things that you forget or you don't take it into account, and just the change of conditions, how they kind of just mess things up or change, you know, just make things more challenging, or you just realize, oh, that was really dumb. Why did I do it that way? Or like I don't know why, I was just thinking, because down in Wisconsin, everything's melting right now, right? So everything's melting, and I like really cold water to drink. So when I was at my parents', I filled up my water with ice in it, which in hindsight made no sense because it got down to 20 degrees last night, right? So it's colder than the refrigerator. So my ice, so I didn't have much to drink last night actually, because in my bottle, the ice still was there. So this morning I put the ice cubes into the fire here, and into the pot, and I'm gonna melt those for my oatmeal. But it's just those things you don't think of, or you're in a different plane of thinking, I guess. And it's always good to be able to be flexible, and you don't, what am I trying to say? It's interesting to see if you're able to be flexible and adapt to the situation or not, and it shows you that you do need to be able to. This is really good. With that, I'm going to get eating here and start cleaning things up, so I can dry my things off at home. And yeah, gotta check up on my little girl, see how Grandma and Grandpa are faring with her. So I hope you guys had a enjoyable time coming out here with me. I had a great time. I hope to do this more often, and I hope to do a little bit more with telling everybody how things are here in Wisconsin and so forth, and just kind of updating you on our move from Germany. That was last year, and how things are going, and just kind of, I'd like to get the channel back going again. And like I said, I thought this was a great opportunity to do that, and so I wanted to take it. So with that, I will let you guys go. Hope you have a great Monday morning wherever you are in the world, and hope to catch you later.
Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, visiting our channel, and watching this episode. I hope it was a good time for you and informative. If so, please hit that like and subscribe button so we can get out there in the world, and it definitely helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day.